When it comes to housing, there's a lot of untold stories about affordable housing. There's a lot of misinformation and downright lies, if you will, about affordable housing. Now I want to share with you the 7 biggest reasons and just downright untruthful information when it comes to buying a house. And not just any house, affordable housing. An affordable home. You see, one of the biggest myths when it comes to buying a house is having excellent credit. You do not have to have excellent credit. You can have good credit, and good credit is considered a 620 or higher credit score. So if your credit score is a 620 or higher, you can actually buy a house. Not only can you buy a house, you can purchase a house for no money out of pocket. Yeah, that's right. 0 down payment if you have a 620 or higher credit score. Now, if you're not sure your credit score, you want to pull your credit. And if your credit score is below 620 and you want to get it over 620, I'll put a link to a video that we did to help you get your credit score up. Now, the second leading thing that really holds people back from purchasing a property or even pursuing to purchase a property is they think they have to make a lot of money. You do not have to make a lot of money. If you make $35,000 a year, you qualify for a $100,000 house. If you make $70,000 a year, you qualify for a $200,000 house. If you make $105,000 a year, you qualify for a $300,000 house. If you make $140,000 a year, you qualify for a $400,000 house. Now that is income based on not having any debt whatsoever. And how they figure that out is they basically say that 31% of your income can go towards a mortgage payment. So quite simply what they do is they look at your yearly income, divide that by 12, gives the mortgage company your monthly income. Then they subtract any monthly payments that you have, like a student loan, credit card payments, car loan. Then they have what they call your adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income is what they'll loan you 31% of to go towards your mortgage payment. Now, the third leading reason why people don't purchase a house or even pursue purchasing a house is because their perception is you have to have a lot of money to put down. That's not the case. That is a big lie. You do not have to have a lot of money to buy a house. You can get an FHA loan and you only need 3.5% for the down payment. Now don't get me wrong, if you purchase a $200,000 house at 3.5% down, that's 3.5% of the purchase price of the house. So if a $200,000 house, 3.5%, that's $7,000. You also have closing costs, but the good thing is if you've got a good agent, and we've got agents all around the country that do just that, and they do that by getting the seller to pay closing costs for you so you could purchase a house with an FHA loan and all you need is 3.5% for the down payment. Now when it comes to a USDA loan and you purchase one of these houses in rural areas, you have to know that these houses are not way out in the country or way out in the sticks or way out in the boondocks. I always tell folks that where I'm located right here, I'm in St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana. I am 35 minutes from New Orleans, Louisiana. And yet where I'm shooting this video in all of this area right now, the entire parish, you can purchase a house with a USDA loan and you don't need any money out of pocket. It's a 0 down, 100% loan. Now, the fourth leading reason why people do not pursue purchasing a house is that they can't afford the payment, and that the payment on a house is going to be more than what they're paying in rent. And it's not true. You see, if you purchase a $100,000 house with a USDA rural development loan and you put no money down, your total monthly payment is going to be $900 a month. That's a fixed rate for 30 years. Your principal and interest payment will not go up. If you purchase a $200,000 house, and yes, you can purchase a $200,000 house with an FHA loan, seller can pay your closing costs with a good agent negotiating that for you. You only need 3.5% to put down for the down payment. You can purchase that property, $200,000, your payment, $1,800 a month. And yes, you can purchase that same house through a USDA rural development loan in states all around this country for no money out of pocket. So you can see how this information is factual that I'm giving you. My name is Wayne Turner. I've been brokering and selling and working in and out, investing in real estate for 30 years. We have a YouTube channel, so give us a thumbs up and subscribe to it so we can continue to reach people like yourself and help you folks, give you the factual, truthful real estate information. Now, the fifth lie, if you will, or misinformation that people have is that they filed bankruptcy. And of course, if you filed bankruptcy, you know your discharge date. That's the date that they said, you know what, it's over, it's done. your debts are wiped out clean if you filed 7, or your payments are going to start if you filed 13. Now, the only caveat to that is your credit score has to get above 620. Well, how do you do that if you've had bankruptcy or filed bankruptcy? Well, it's a funny thing. Whenever you file bankruptcy, immediately within 30 days of filing bankruptcy, you'll start to get credit card information and credit card requests from you. Because yes, when you pay someone like a bank 25%, they will gladly give you a credit card for a minimum of say $500 or $1,000, because they know you just filed bankruptcy and the likelihood of you filing again in the next 2 to 3 years is very slim. The good news is it's not so much the cost of that money, it's the availability of that money. So at that point, you can take that credit card with a $500 balance, go buy something very small, and then pay it off just like that the very next month. Because the ultimate goal is, after you filed bankruptcy, you've had a discharge date. Within 2 years after your discharge date, you can purchase a house. So don't let filing bankruptcy discourage you. Most importantly, work like crazy to get your credit score over that 620 hump, because once you're over that 620 hump, it's very likely you'll be able to get an FHA or USD RD loan 2 years after filing bankruptcy. Now, number 6 on the list when it comes to most leading information for a home buyer to purchase a property is they can't purchase a house if they've short sold a home in the past. And when you short sell a house, it's basically when you put the home on the market, you sell the property, you get a contract on the property, if you will, but you have to get permission from the bank, because the bank is going to take less than what the homeowner owes on the property. Perhaps you or someone you know is kind of getting behind, or it looks like they're going to get behind in their mortgage payments. I tell everybody, don't get behind in your mortgage payments. Most importantly, pay your mortgage first and foremost over anything. Oftentimes, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, meaning that whoever's calling the most and bothering you the most, they're the ones that you pay, because it's only an $80 here or $100 there. Whatever you do, do not stop paying your mortgage payment. And here's the reason why. Once you get behind in your mortgage payment, then you got to pay next month's payment. They will not accept a partial payment. You have to come due with the back payment plus the current payment. And you can see how 3 or 4 months gets down the road and you've had a $2,000 or $1,500 mortgage payment. Next thing you know, you got to come up with 10 grand. It's just next to impossible. So the next avenue is either to file bankruptcy, which I do not recommend, or call a competent real estate agent that knows about short sales, that can put the house on the market, sell the property for you, and then it shows up on your credit as balance paid as agreed and satisfied. Now, the 7th reason why people do not pursue purchasing a house is they owe money to the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. And when they owe money to the IRS, in your brain you're thinking, there's no way I'm going to get a loan. Who's going to give me a mortgage? I owe money to the IRS. And listen, the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, the money that you owe on your taxes, and student loans, those are the only 2 things in the United States of America that you cannot file bankruptcy on. They will stay with you and you have to pay those off. The good news is the IRS will gladly put you on a payment plan. So if you owe any money to the IRS, it's very important to reach out to them, to contact them, and to simply say, this is what I can't afford. As long as you can afford that payment to the IRS on a monthly basis, and you can show that you've paid them for at least 3 months. So in 3 months, you've paid the IRS a set agreed upon amount, and you have a documentation from the IRS that says they agreed to allow you to pay that on a monthly basis. You could show that to a mortgage lender. As long as your income justifies that payment to the IRS plus the payment that you could pay for a mortgage, they will actually give you a mortgage for a home. You see, a big misconception when it comes to owing the IRS money is that it's going to tag your credit, it's going to pull your credit score down. It actually doesn't. However, it does show up, because when you go to get a mortgage for a property, you go to buy a house, you're going to get a loan from a bank or a mortgage company, they want to see your tax returns. And if they see that you actually owe money to the IRS, I can assure you they're never going to give you a mortgage or a loan if you're not set up on a monthly payment plan. So pull your credit. Make sure your credit score is 620. Watch the video to get that credit score up. look at your income, back out what you have going out on a monthly basis, and see what your adjusted gross income is. You can get a loan for 31% of your adjusted gross income. Now keep in mind what you're approved for is your monthly payment and what your monthly payment would be for a mortgage. And listen, if you want to get approved or talk with the lender or counsel with the lender, we have lenders all around the country that work for our customers, our viewers, our subscribers, and they don't charge you a cent to just speak with you, to talk with you. And they not only pull your credit and tell you and show you, they'll show you how to repair your credit, how to fix your credit, how to boost your credit score. Because they have this thing called a rapid rescore, and they can boost your score based on advising you on just simple, subtle little things to do that you may not be aware of.